Okay, so it's been a bit of a long day, and I don't know exactly when this video is coming out, but I have two Shedding Tears videos, one that is approximately 35 minutes long, and one that is approximately 45 minutes long, and I've been working on those all day, and I kind of just want to relax and go over a random monster manual based off of the roulette like I have. So we're gonna do that. It's only gonna spin for 5 seconds, so I'm not wasting anyone's time here, including my own. The audio should be correct now, so let's hit spin, shall we? Best thing about that auto editor program that I have installed on my computer is that when the roulette wheel picks a monster that I don't have any pictures of saved, I can just take my time, and as long as I'm quiet, it cuts out all the silence for me, so...
It's real. It's real.
Anyways, today we get to talk about Varan, or Varan depending on your pronunciation. I have not watched the Varan movie. I must admit that at the beginning of the video. I did buy the DVD, but if you can't tell, I haven't unwrapped it yet. I don't want to do that until I actually watch it. And my girlfriend did make a note the other night that we don't watch any movies despite the fact that I have a 4K Blu-ray player hooked up to our bedroom TV. So maybe at some point soon, hopefully I'll watch it, but haven't actually watched it yet. I'll be completely honest, if it weren't for the fact that Varan was in Godzilla Unleashed, I don't know if I would know very much about Varan. Because obviously once I picked up Godzilla Unleashed on the Wii, because that's the only version of the game that exists, obviously I did some digging and I realized obviously that Varan had briefly cameoed in Destroy All Monsters, which I had watched at that point. And then, you know, I found out about the original plans for GMK and how Varan was supposed to be one of the monsters in it, and how many of Varan's design motifs kind of inspired the GMK iteration of King Ghidorah. So I'm kind of aware of Varan, but like if I was forced to rank the quality of Varan against all the other Showa Godzilla movies, I'd be shit out of luck because I don't have that much knowledge pertaining to Varan on mental file. I will say I know a lot of people like Varan. I know a lot of people were happy when he got added to Godzilla Unleashed. Obviously, I was excited when he got added to Godzilla Unleashed as well, but obviously coming from a place of ignorance on the subject being Varan, I could only get so excited. I'm sure a lot of older fans of these movies were more excited by the fact that Varan finally got into something. I don't doubt he's probably been in some of the older games on, say, like the NES or the SNES, but to my knowledge, Varan has not been in very much. So the fact that he got into Godzilla Unleashed was kind of a shocking thing, and it made a lot of people happy. So I'm glad that Godzilla Save the Earth Melee has made the decision to retain him from Godzilla Unleashed's roster and work him into the sort of kind of new roster for this game, because Godzilla Unleashed didn't really play that well, and I know a lot of people like to bring up the whole waggle controls, but I would say just in general, Godzilla Save the Earth and Destroy All Monsters Melee before it controlled much more tightly. So yeah, it was great that Varan got into Godzilla Unleashed, but because of how sloppy and not tight Godzilla Unleashed's gameplay was, it's nice to know that they're at least going to try to put him into an actual Godzilla fighter game. The time of this recording, on May 22nd at 10:22 p.m., I have not done a Monster Manual video for Mothra and Mothra Leo, a revised Monster Manual video covering Titanosaurus, because there have been updates since that first video I did. I have not done a video on Baragon, Megaguirus, Heisei Mogera, or Biolante. So if for some reason this gets moved around in the schedule, when I made this video and recorded it, that's what I had left to do. But alright, let's get to it. Let's talk about Varan. You know, it's funny how I talked about how I was going to do a revised Monster Manual video on Titanosaurus, and one of the key reasons that I need to do that is because Titanosaurus got a new bio, and the bio pages have been rather interesting, as the last several Monster Manual videos should hopefully show. So it would make sense then that when I go to do a Varan Monster monster manual this far in the past, at least according to the people viewing this online for the first time, Varan does not have a monster manual. Demon God Baradagi. Before I get into the moveset, I just gotta say, it's probably a good thing that the Nasty Soft team is going to be doing this version of Varan, because they'll probably make him very accurate to the movie, which even though, like I said, I haven't seen, I imagine the Godzilla Unleashed model for Varan was not exactly perfect, and, you know, none of the models in any of these games is, but hopefully you see what I'm kind of getting at there. That's a good first 5 words. A gliding derivative of Anguirus. Well, I know, before I go any further into this, I know they're trying to build Varan off of Anguirus, so it would make sense. And I mean, just look at Varan. I can imagine he would be kind of derivative of Anguirus. Obviously, he doesn't have the spines and stuff in the shell, but it makes sense that they were able to build Varan from Anguirus. Oh, that's nice to know they wanted Varan from the beginning of the Godzilla Save the Earth Melee project. Yeah, the animations cannot be properly transferred. That kind of sucks, but it is what it is, I guess.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Anguirus animations, as said, makes sense. Baragon kind of makes sense, you know. They're similar in build. Godzilla, though, how can you get Godzilla animations to work for Varan? I know they can get parts of animations, so maybe that's where that comes from? I don't know. Good, a faithful moveset is being created for him. Emphasis on faithful. The knockback / super jump system in Save the Earth Melee was added to Varan to allow him to glide without the use of energy, but to just naturally fall as he can flap to regain some height. From what I understand, the jumping and gravity systems within Save the Earth Vanilla and Godzilla Unleashed Vanilla are radically different, because Unleashed kind of has the moon jump system, and I believe Goji Rex stated in the Goji Fan 93 video where he was being interviewed that part of the problem is that Save the Earth Vanilla characters can only exist on 2 planes of the map. Basically, they can exist at the ground level height and they can exist at the peak of their jump height, but they can't really act or do anything special in any of the intervening distances or heights. And I can understand how that could maybe make Varan a little bit hard to devise a moveset and game plan for, because Varan kind of only works within a system like that. But leveraging the knockback and the super jump systems within Save the Earth Melee to kind of approach that system is rather ingenious. I have to give props to the development team for that, because that's kind of cool. That's a really interesting use of the systems that already are in the game. The next sentence, though, really piques my interest. Varan can also cling to the sides of buildings and then flap off to gain additional height. That's kind of insane, especially due to how complex many of the building models are in the vanilla Save the Earth. I can imagine this is part of the reason why Varan has not been, like, formally revealed as of the recording of this video, because that seems like it would take a lot of work, so interesting. So this was implemented using the kind of wall splat system that is used whenever you hock an enemy monster at a sufficiently large building and they slam against it and it does damage. Oh, he'll have a grounded grab and hold similar to Baragon. At least they're reusing that, because Baragon was kind of the only monster that worked that way in Vanilla Save the Earth. It's actually rather interesting. I'm curious how that's gonna look. Okay, as far as skins go, I know there's like 2 or 3 versions of Varan tops. I know there's like a concept art you could probably give him from GMK, but otherwise I have no idea what they could give him. So let's see what they got. Okay, the standard Varan, black and white. Trendmasters, I didn't even know that was a thing. Varan toys exist? Oh, it was from the 90s. That explains why I don't know about it. Called it GMK. I have no proof for this, but I imagine that's going to be a pretty cool skin. Oh, okay, I was kind of right. He was in Monster of Monsters on the NES. I'm never going to pick that one. The American poster, okay, he's got a slightly different texture. He looks greener. Demon Varan, that's from Godzilla in Hell. Did not expect that. That's probably going to be pretty cool. I might use that one. Okay, we got the Ruby Maquette, which is basically just red GMK concept art Varan. And Doom Island says it's a recolor based on a 90s toy line. But am I crazy? I've never seen this before, but just looking at the image, I feel like that could be a totally separate model. Okie dokie, here comes the part of the video where we put the auto editor to work. Because I guarantee if I go on Wikizilla, there are probably going to be a couple of skins or something on here. Also, it is likely by the time this video comes out, additions will have been made to the monster manuals, so it's possible that this will sort of be a time capsule, and that maybe I'm like predicting things, which would be pretty neat.
Okay, off to a good start.
Oh, thank goodness gracious, he has a gallery. I got worried there for a second. Oh yeah, they definitely need to do a skin based on that Trendmasters figure. I'm gonna be completely honest, before I list off the skins, I genuinely thought that Varan was one of the monsters that showed up in the opening credits of Godzilla Planet of the Monsters. But I guess that's typical of me. I try to give those movies credit that they do not deserve, even remotely. Okay, just before I go through these three ideas, all three of them are recolors. I have no idea for alternative models. They seem to have pretty much covered all of the obvious ones. But as of the time of recording this video, there are currently only 3 open slots. So I'm just going to suggest 3 possible recolors that could be cool to see in part, but probably not in whole for reasons that will become obvious once I actually say them. First, much as I said in the Destroy a Monster Manual video, there was a game on Dreamcast called Godzilla Giant Monsters Assembly. Obviously, you can't do like an alternative skin based on this, because I mean, this looks like Ditto with a human head and really sparse hair follicles. But you could maybe do like a recolor of Varan that kind of goes off of this puke color palette. Maybe it would look good, maybe it wouldn't, I don't know. I'm just trying to come up with skins. This one's a toy. I'm not super keen on this one just because it kind of crosses over with the red GMK concept maquette. But again, you wouldn't have to necessarily adapt this toy wholesale. You could have a lighter red recolor and just have parts of it be this color and not necessarily have it completely overlap with the red GMK maquette. This last one I feel like is the one that is most likely to occur of these recommended 3 of mine. There might be too many Varan recolors that are green, and I imagine this was based on at least one of those hypothetical recolored Varans, but it's got a little bit of a patchy spot of brown on the face and splotches of silver here and there. Maybe it could work as another skin? I really don't know. I honestly thought that Varan had been in the opening for the Godzilla anime trilogy.
Look at that! It's a monster! I can't believe this is happening!
For the first time, humanity realized they weren't the rulers of this planet anymore. Monsters. From the depths of the earth, the sea, and even forgotten myths and legends kept appearing, one after another.
And that would have been the one I would have recommended. Like, I don't know why, but for some reason I'm envisioning a color scheme for Varan based on the Servum from the anime trilogy. And anybody who knows anything about my feelings about the anime trilogy knows that I don't make this suggestion lightly. Although maybe the Demon Varan is going to look kind of similar to what I'm envisioning for this one, so it might be redundant in such a case. Oh, also, one last thing which I pretty much completely breezed over. It is worth noting that as of the recording of this video, Varan's rage move is completely unknown. And to be quite honest, I can totally see why it's currently TBD, because I can't even think of one. And people that have seen the original Varan film have probably interacted with the Nasty Soft devs. So if they still don't have an idea for what his rage move could be, I mean, what possible help could I even bring? All I can think of is his grab move from Godzilla Unleashed. maybe he could have like a dive bomb move, like a super jump up and then like crash down into the map and cause like a massive rippling shockwave that like tears the city asunder. Maybe that would be cool. Not really inspired, I guess, but that's all I can really think of. He's very acrobatic, and obviously he glides, so, I mean, maybe you could have him glide like a short distance forward and then boom. Or maybe he could go into a glide, and if you don't hit a button in time, he won't do a range move, and he'll just burn through the meter, but if you do it in time, he'll do the dive bomb. Or, alternatively, maybe in order to use Varan's rage move at all, you have to do it while gliding. Like, hit the roar input while you're gliding, and then that's what causes him to do the dive bomb. Don't know if you could even get that to work, or if it would even be fun, but just a suggestion. That's all I can do. Aside from bringing exposure to this entire project. Although, given the view counts of my videos, I don't even know how many people are actually watching these. And on that note, that's all we've got for today. It's late. I need to feed the guinea pigs. Which, for the record, we got a new guinea pig. Isn't she cute? She's adorable. She's got like the floofy hair. Her name is Jubilee. But you guys leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Drop a comment in the comment section telling me what your expectations are for Varan within Godzilla Save the Earth Melee. And I will see you guys in the next video.